I'm here this morning with Marcy Madrid with Healthy City here in Midland, Texas. Marcy, you've got an awesome event that you're getting ready to host this morning. It's bright and early, called Food is Medicine. Tell me what this is all about.
Well, this has been a movement that started here about 4 or 5 years ago by a group of doctors that had gone to a national conference and heard about the impact that food really has on overall health. And most physicians learn a lot about pharmacology in med school, and they learn about treating diseases in a much reactive manner. So these conferences that had started several years ago by Dr. Scott Stoll, one of our speakers today, really addressed some of the root cause of disease, and realizing that food has a much larger impact on our health and wellness and disease process than many of us realize, or maybe would like to admit sometimes.
Absolutely.
So these physicians heard this information, which was really life-changing for them. It changed the way they thought about their practice, the way they would communicate with their patients, and they brought it back to Midland Memorial Hospital at the time, Midland Health, and shared it with our physicians there and some of the administrators, which I was on the administrative team, and really tried to open our eyes to this concept and said that this is something more people need to know about. Especially patients need to be aware that they have more power at the end of their fork than they realize, and we need to empower them to take control of their health. They don't have to be a victim. You don't have to be a slave to medications and to doctor's visits, but they need to know this. A lot of patients have no idea that they have this much power in the food that they eat. So that sparked sort of this movement within our healthcare system in Midland, and as it grew, we realized that this needed to be a community-wide effort and a community-wide awareness and outreach. So that's where Healthy City was created by a group of passionate clinicians, physicians, hospital administrators, community members just came together and said, we need to find a way to get this information to as many people in the community as possible, because it truly is life-changing. So we had done Food is Medicine as a hospital just on our own.
Louder.
We had done Food is Medicine as a hospital just on our own a few years ago. Healthy City took it over when they reestablished the Food is Medicine conference last year for the first time. Healthy City was established in 2016. The first Healthy City Food is Medicine conference happened in 2017, last August, and we had over 700 people come. So this year we're on path for a great group of people again. For our 2018 event, we're already looking at how to make it different and new for next year, for 2019.
Oh, fabulous. Well, tell me about the speakers you have that have come in today. I understand they're cross-section and from across the nation.
Yes, so Dr. Scott Stoll founded the Plantrition Project, which is really looking at educating as many clinicians, physicians as possible. So we have a great group of physicians coming. Dr. Stoll, one of our first physicians, he's been here several years. He founded the Plantrition Project because of his own experience as a primary care physician with patients struggling with disease and not knowing, how to get out of the rat race of following the disease and more medication. So he founded the Plantrition Project to educate more physicians and clinicians on the power of food, the power that patients can have to turn their health around. They don't have to be completely relying on a hospital and a healthcare system to make them better. They can make themselves better. So he founded that. He does these huge conferences every year where they have 1,000 clinicians show up and learn about food as medicine and lifestyle medicine. Dr. Ken Williams is the past president of the American College of Cardiology. He's the chief of cardiology at Rush University. An incredible list of credentials, an incredibly knowledgeable and experienced cardiologist who still practices and deals with patients every day, but also travels all over, works with the American College of Cardiology, the American Heart Association, and furthering their research and really showing the impact, again, that food has on health. Much more than pharmacology and all the procedures that are available to us. If we can just change our behaviors, we can stop and reverse disease. And people don't realize this. So he's got a great talk coming up later just about the impact of heart disease, which is our #1 killer in the U.S.
Yes.
And it's preventable. And that's the exciting message. We don't have to be victims to this.
That's good news.
Yes, it is. It's we don't just have to wait for it to happen to us or if it's happened to our family. And then we have Dr. Michael Clapper, who is part of the physician team that runs True North in California, an incredible food intervention retreat program. It's a live-in facility that people go and recover from food addictions and reverse diseases and cure diseases. I mean, it's an incredible program they have over there. He's also has years of experience of being a primary care physician and practicing these food as medicine philosophies with his own patients, and especially diabetics. He has an incredible wealth of knowledge on the impact of diabetics, because that's another, under heart disease, diabetes is one of the top epidemics that we're facing, and it's largely, when you're talking about type 2 diabetes, it's largely lifestyle.
It is.
Which means you don't have to be a victim to this. You have a choice. And people can choose what they want at the end of the day, but we want people to be empowered with the power to choose and know that they have that choice of.
They need that knowledge.
Yes, knowledge is definitely power in this. So, and then we have Juliana Heaver, who's a registered dietitian, and she's got lots of famous blogs and books that she's published on how to practically live this out, how to prepare foods, from the dietitian approach, why you're not hearing about this more, and what are some of the research and data, and why, the traditional ADA guidelines we may have heard, American Dietetic Association, may not be the best way to go. We need to really consider just focusing on more plants and plant-based nutrition, because that's where they're seeing the most dramatic change in their diabetic patients and their hypertensive patients. So she'll be here later, and she's really going to get into some of the practical application of a lot of these philosophies.
Very good.
How do you make this work, at home in your life if you don't have a family that's doing this? How do you prepare meals and work with your children? So she'll get more into that side of things.
Very good. So it sounds like it's going to be a full day.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got a day full of great speakers, great information. Again, not only just education, but also inspiration, information, and practical application, so people can have something to take away and do something with it.
Absolutely. So tell me more about Healthy City. The organization is about 2 years old now. And it was built out of this doctor base with this wealth of knowledge. What kind of feedback have y'all been? You said you did a conference last year. So what was the feedback you got from the people that attended? What was their walk-away reaction to what they learned?
It's really been remarkable to see the impact that this message has on our community. The more that we share it, the more that we're able to get out and do these types of events and deliver the message to the people for the first time. It's amazing to see the responses, because they are receiving a power and a hope and an encouragement that they never knew they had. And it's incredibly hopeful in a world where disease and sickness seems very hopeless when you get new diagnoses and you feel like there's no way out. So it's bringing a lot of hope and encouragement. And we have hundreds of stories that have come out of the past few conferences where people have made changes because of the information they've heard, changed their life, changed their family's life. So part of our goal is not only to empower and educate people that have never heard the message before, but then we have people come back that have heard the message, but maybe they need fresh encouragement or inspiration, because it's hard to live this out, and where it's very countercultural.
Yes, exactly. The culture doesn't work with us on this too well.
But it's, do you want to jump off the cliff with everyone else, or do you want to do something different and save your life and your health and your family's health?
Exactly.
Because we can do what everyone else is doing, and we'll end up in the same place everyone else is ending up, where heart disease is our number one killer, and many people are
and lots of aches and pains.
Yes, and all those problems. So the other part of education, the second part after people are educated, is really ongoing inspiration, encouragement, support, this community of support, and ongoing social connectedness with people that are part of this movement, just to connect them with other people, share testimonials, give them practical tips and tricks that they can do in their everyday life. So that's sort of the sustainment part of what we're doing, and also part of what Healthy City was designed to do. We have these big conferences, which is sort of the event that many people know us for now, but all year long, as part of our strategic priorities, we're working with local restaurants to incorporate more healthy options on menus that are clearly marked. Working with local grocery stores to make sure that the products that people are trying to buy that are more in sort of these natural plant-based products are available and on shelves in our local grocery stores. Social connectedness and community is so important when you're living a way that is very countercultural. So we
Yeah.
have community meal groups that we support, grocery store tours, just different groups that people can connect and get involved in on a regular monthly basis.
Oh, that's
just
wonderful.
to keep them encouraged and inspired and aligned with other people that are doing the same thing that can root them along.
Have y'all been able to replicate what you're doing here in other cities yet, or is that something in the future?
That's coming. So,
Yay, San Angelo, San Angelo.
yes, actually. We've talked to some people in San Angelo. We're
Very
actually
good.
talking to some people in Austin.
Oh, very good.
And next
Yeah.
week that are interested in doing this. When we created Healthy City's actually a subsidiary of the parent corporation that we created, which is Healthy Nation.
Okay.
And the idea was
Yeah,
always
very
to
good.
create a model that
Perfect.
could go national,
Yeah.
and then different cities could have their own autonomy and create their own subsidiary, but with a model that's already been created. They wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel. We already have the structure and the bylaws that they can use, but we could have different segments in different cities that are interested in starting something in their community too, and we would provide the same resources and support that we have, so
Yeah.
they don't have to start from scratch.
Fabulous. Marcy, I know our time is up. Thank you. I know you've got to get in there to get ready to
Yes.
introduce all these fabulous
Yes.
speakers. Thank you so much,
Sure.
and we hope to hear more from Healthy City. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
having
it.
us. Thank you.